Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm going to do an unboxing of Taelmoor by the Delft Bros, which was funded on Kickstarter in July and August 2021. It just got delivered here this week, so that's pretty fast. It's a dungeon crawler kind of game, a cooperative game for 1 to 6 players, which plays in about an hour to an hour and a half per session for ages 14 and up. It uses an app to interact with all the things you will find on your way while going through these dungeons. There's puzzles you need to solve, there's some fights you need to do, and it looks like a really fun game. I already did a review of a print and play prototype. You can find that by clicking the I in the corner of this video or the link in the description below. Now, before I open up the box, I'd like to ask you all to, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That really helps my channel. And if you'd like to support me financially, there's also a Patreon page, and you can do so for as little as €1 per month or more, which is greatly appreciated. And in return, you'll get early access to my videos, access to some Patreon exclusive videos, and your name in the credits. All right, let's open up the box and see what's inside. First of all, I'm going to show you this map here that also came with the Kickstarter. Here are contained neat and accurate maps of Vale and Taelmoor, together with their surrounding islands and principalities, drawn from surveys and the most approved maps and charts of the free men of Vale, by Vicundus Verily, Master Historian and Geographer of the Free Academy of Sciences. Put a lot of work into all the lore here, and should curiosity quicken upon viewing the many notable landmarks and locations contained herein, simply direct your Free Academy approved apparatus at a neighboring question rune such as this. The knowledge you seek shall be revealed. So that's pretty cool. Even a stamp there by the Delft Bros. So that's pretty funny. So if you want to look at this, this is a map of Vale. Let me just fold that out. Here it is. So this is a city, the city of Vale, which is really nice. I love the artwork. And so the whole city with everything named in it. So you'll need that during your travels. And there's QR codes, the runes all over the map, so you can scan those and get the information you need. And on the other side is the map of Taelmoor. It's sideways, but now you can see the entire thing. Almost fits into the frame, but that is pretty cool. I just slide it down a bit. So there you go. That is Taelmoor. And here is Vale, so that's a part of that. So really cool. So that is the map. Let's take a look at the main box. So here's the core box of Taelmoor, again with a QR code here. So that's pretty cool, with the art of some of the characters you can play on the cover. In a dungeon, of course, by the Delft Bros. 1 to 6 players, 60 to 90 minutes, 14 and up. Also says that on the side here. Some really nice art. Here is a vertical side if you want to store your game vertically. On the other side, a similar thing. And on the top, it's horizontal again. And on the back of the box, you can see here, you can download the free Taelmoor app, which is of course required to play, and a setup of an example of a game where you go through several rooms that all have these QR codes. You get item tokens with QR codes, you get cards, everything has QR codes, and you check out what happens on the app. And that's also where you do battle. So you choose a character, you explore the dungeon, you fight fearsome foes, and discover adventure. Really nicely done, looks really cool, and that is an indie publisher, so hoping to see more of it. I'm really hoping that this game, now that it has arrived into backers' hands, will do really well, so they can gather more funds to make expansions, which they can simply have on the app, and you can, like buy DLCs, so you can play more adventures with the stuff in the core game here. All right, let's open it up. All right, so first of all, in the box, we find the Quick Start Guide if you're short on time or just don't like reading rules, you can start your first game of Taelmoor without ever opening this book. Because, you know, the app will pretty much tell you what to do in the tutorial scenario. So there's 5 steps you need to take here, and then you can get started. Here you have a table of contents, the objective of the game, how the app works. There's another QR code here to get the app, components that you will find in this box, setting up a game, and there's even an internet game you can do. That's pretty interesting. Internet games can be joined even after they started, and they have to take control of an existing character. So you have to start the game with several characters, and then other players can jump in. So that's pretty cool that you can play that online as well. You might be able to stream it even, which is a good idea. And it explains the classes and how to play, of course, how to win, losing conditions, exploration, what the icons mean, placing pieces and maps. It's all pretty straightforward. How combat works, how you level up. Again, all these icons here. How the cards work, what all the icons mean on the cards and the QR code, and how you do combat with the targets. Combat interface in the app and effects. You can have several effects as well. Conditions. And there's some credits on the back there. Hey, I'm even mentioned over there. That's pretty cool because I played several games with them during the play testing. Well, that's pretty nice. All right. So firstly, we have all of these punch boards with the standees, which of course all have their QR codes. That's a pretty hefty pack. And of course the tiles are in here as well. So let me open that up first. All right, so the first punch board has these 3 dungeon tiles with lovely art. I really like the look of these dungeons, the art and the aesthetic. We have these tokens. And this time, of course, in nice punch board. In my review, I used a print and play copy. So I had to print a lot of stuff and cut it out, which was, of course, just paper. And I couldn't really comment on the components in the review. But seeing this, it is as expected. It's just, you know, the standard, pretty thick cardboard. And you just punch everything out. Punches really well. This even comes out almost by itself. So that's really cool. There's a second punch board here with 3 more rooms. And of course, these rooms are double-sided, as you can see. And on the back, you get the QR codes on these tokens and on some smaller rooms that you'll find. And these all have, well, most of them have QR codes as well. Some rooms are multi-part, so this will say, you know, this is a 4-part room. This is the top left corner because there's a wall here, and this connects to other rooms. I think that's actually this one. So if I take this one out, this one goes to the right, you can see this connects. So only one of those 4 tiles in this case will have a QR code. That's why there's no QR codes on this one, but that looks really nice. And these are, of course, smaller rooms, which each have their own QR code. All right. Here's another multi-part room. That's the bottom one. So another punch board. 3 more rooms, or actually 6. More tokens. These all seem to be multi-part rooms, so you get some really big dungeons, which is cool. And I only saw a few of them in the review, in the print and play copy. So this is all new to me as well. This big room. Sweet. More of these rooms in the caves. And there's a longer room over there, like a corridor. And another punch board. There's plenty of tiles. And there's There's another bigger room on the back with an underground river. Nice. Even more tiles and tokens. And they use a nice modular way of making them, so they had the same punch board basically for all of these, with 3 bigger ones, 2 smaller ones, and a set of tokens, which of course saves on production costs. It's clever. And here we have, and look at the art. I love this. This is really cool. These are some of the heroes there, and these are monsters, of course. Pretty clear who the heroes are and who the monsters are, of course. Look at that lich here, and the dragon. That's super cool. That is really well done. Yeah, I really like that. That's amazing. And all have their QR codes on the back. So there you go. Then we have these plastic stands, of course, for setting the standees on. So we have that. We've got some cards. We have a room here, a slot for the tokens and a slot for the tiles. So I'll show you how that all fits back with a quick reboxing. First, let's take a look at these cards. So we've got 6 classes here. Every class has their own set of cards. This is the Dwarven Fighter, I believe. Female dwarf with a beard, of course. So we have these kind of cards which have the name of the ability. It tells you that this is a basic dwarf ability with a nice bit of illustration there. And then some icons which tell you, how much damage it does, which quadrant of the enemies basically it targets, if it has armor or not. In this case it doesn't. And the speed, so basically the initiative in which the card takes its effect. And here it says also deal 7 damage, and you scan that. We have a hammer, so some art is repeated here. Shield bash, another shield bash, blocking, so this has armor instead of damage, because you're blocking, of course. There's 3 of those. We have intercept, 2 of those, a shield wall, fortify, iron will, obliterate, taunt, all out, steely resolve. So these are all the dwarf abilities. Then we have the rogue, I believe it was, a kind of thief-like character, who has a stab, again with all the, this one has poison. So, all the classes are very different, have their own types of cards. Another stab, throwing knife, because they have more range. You can target one of the quadrants in the back. You can evade, so this is targeting yourself. We have a gas grenade, something you can lob as well. Flash bang. Oh, you throw dice to pick your target. It's interesting. You can backstab someone. Bind, blowgun, first strike, deadly reagent, caltrops, stealth, and execute. So that's these. Then we have the sorceress, who has a mystic missile, a fireball, scry, a couple of those. At the end of the round, draw 3 cards and discard 2 of them. 3 of those. Bubble, which is a shield kind of spell. Sulfuric cloud. I guess this targets everyone. Lightning, acid touch, and feeble. Firestorm. So this also targets the players, apparently. A recall, and mortal vapor. Again, of course, all these icons are explained in the rulebook. This is the ranger, or the archer, who has, of course, bow and arrows. You can shoot your arrows, you can snipe. You have an oaken skin, because she's an elven archer, an elven ranger. Invigorate, hunt the strong, cull the weak, glamour, as an arrow storm, It's cool. Barrage of arrows, power shot, regroup, venomous barb, and a nerve strike. So those are the ranger cards. Then we have the barbarian, of course. No dungeon crawler is complete without the barbarian, who can hack with his broad axe. He can slash, wild swing. He can bust the kneecap. He can defend, brutalize, dirty trick, intimidate, berserk, of course, overextend, and double strike. Very ferocious fighter, the barbarian. And finally, the sixth hero is the monk. Looks very jolly there. Kind of like a monk or a paladin-like, if you will. Has a mace. Can cost protection, shelter, bless, meditate, cleanse, 4 conditions, condemn, balance, sanctuary, righteous fury, ceasefire, holy guardian, and divine favor. All right, so those are all the cards, and it seems that there's plenty of room in here to allow for sleeving. So that's good. You can sleeve your cards. And then we have these cards as well. So here is a slot for tiles and here as well. Or I guess the tiles go here and maybe all the standees go here probably. So these are, let's see, bigger cards. Let's have a look at those. All right, so let's see. This is basically a player handout, a reference card, which tells you how to do exploration and dialogue. And on the back, how combat works, and again, all of these icons, which is very handy. Targets all allies, all enemies. You see a random target, target with the most health or the least health. So yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty cool. So you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, basically 1 for each player. That's great. Then we have the characters. So we have the dwarf here, the dwarven fighter. Look at that art. Isn't that awesome? Finally, a bearded dwarf lady. That's so cool. A spot for your inventory, you know, if you get a token. And on the back, you have a little bit of a background, the abilities that they have. A bit of a bio there. And you can level up. So that's really cool. The rogue here, also very cool. Lovely art. And again on the back, a little bit of a bio and the levels, etc. The elf with the bow and arrow. There you go. You have the cleric. It's really cool. And the wizard. So that's really cool. And I think finally the barbarian. Very Conan-like there. All right, so those are the 6 hero cards. We have a party inventory card as well. You can just put that on the table and toss all the tokens there. So that's a common pool. So we have that. And then finally we have the party marker. So you move as a party. So that's really cool. Here you have the wizard. That's pretty cool. The rogue over here. The dwarf. And the barbarian. A little bit of a bent axe here, but I'll give that the hot water treatment. And nice sculpted base as well. The cobblestones there, I like that. That's really cool, and it's actually very detailed. It's bigger and more detailed than I thought it would be. I thought it would, you know, because it's basically just a token to indicate where the party is. I thought it would be a lot more simplistic, but I'm very much surprised with how detailed it is. It's just going to be really hard to paint the backs of these characters because they're on this and you can't really take them off. So it might have been a good idea to have them like pinned on so you could actually take them off, paint them, and put them back on, or maybe even have the base in 4 parts so you can just kind of click them apart or something. But I'm sure I'll manage. It won't be the prettiest paint job on the back there. But yeah, that is pretty cool. Here it says Taelmoor by the Delft Bros. And that fits in here really nicely. All right. So, all right, let me just punch all of these punch boards and show you how it all fits back in the box. And before I show you the reboxing of the core game, I almost forgot. I also got a combat booster pack, which is 12 cards in this booster pack here. So let's open that up and see what cards we have inside here. Now, this is a bit of a tough... Oh, there we go. I think it also has a little bit of a Ziploc in here. Yeah, keep it extra safe. And even packed in plastic. So we have some extra cards for all the classes. Let's open that up. So we have 2 cards for each of them because there's 6 classes. Let's see. 40 Barbarian, an advanced ability, Primal Rage and Revenge. You've got a Blessed Song for the Cleric and Smite. We've got Dwarven Rage for the Dwarf, of course, and Earthen Ages. We've got Verdant Wave for the Elf and Overgrowth. And we got Sickening Spores for the Rogue and Manicap Toxin. And for the Wizard, we have a Chaos Rift and Stop Time. So that's the extra cards we got. Let's put it all back in the box. Right, so I've punched all the tokens and all the standees, put them all on their own stands. There are enough stands for all the standees, all the monsters and the NPCs, and all the round tokens simply go here. Punch them all, and that fits nicely. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but that fits really well. And all the standees, you can just toss them in. You don't need to stack them precisely. You just toss them all in. There's plenty of room. The bigger cards go on top here in the slot that they came. And of course, the miniature, the figure here, goes in there. You can put this on top if you want to. And then you have a couple of slots left. And it's pretty obvious what goes where, of course. All of the cards, and I've added the advanced cards to these as well. They go in here, and still there's some room left, so I think you can sleeve them. Then here is a slot for all of these smaller corridors. There's ones with a QR code and ones without. And you put them sideways, otherwise this little point will stick out. So you can put them sideways like this, and there's plenty of room here, and there's some holes here, so you can easily get them out. So that's well designed. Same here and same here, which leaves this slot obviously for all the tiles. And I just put them together with the back so you can kind of see how big the rooms are that you'll make. And on the other side, there are this more single rooms. And, well, there's AA, AB. I'm not going to sort them out. But there's an indentation here and, of course, here. So make sure the 2 arrows, the points here, are facing that way. So we have A7, A8, and here A5 and A6. So you can, if you want to, you know, make them, put them in order. 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm probably missing a few. I'm just taking a random room here. Here's another big room. It's pretty cool with the water. This is A4, A3, A2, and A1. Here's another room. Big, bloody looking throne room, or is it it's a church, I think, like cathedral or something. There's pews here. a F, a E, a D, and a C. Over here we have, so A is one side and B is the other side. A K, a M, a N, a P. And this room over here has the A K, a H, and a G. I'm just going to put them in an alphabetical order. There's no O, I believe, so M, N, P. There's no L as far as I can see, but we have the K here, which is a two-part room as well. H, G, F, E, D, and see, I put the A and the B on the bottom, so yeah. And that just fits. It's completely flush with the insert, which is nice. So everything fits in there really well. Then we have, of course, the map. So if you have that, you can put that wherever you want. And the rule book, and there's still some space left even. So that's how everything fits. Pretty straightforward. All nicely back into the box. Alright, so that was my unboxing of Taelmoor by the Delft Bros. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.